Hey guys, welcome to today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed that piece that I just made up. I'm going to be teaching you that today if you stick around. Got to stop flicking the microphone. It's something I wanted to do to, I guess, teach you sort of things that Brian Setzer does when he's doing a chord solo. That's just over a blues. It's not too complicated. Stick around. I'm going to teach you not just how to play it, but roughly what's going on. Now, if you happen to be a member of the Patreon, you can access the Sound Slice link so that you can have the scrolling tabs with the performance on another page. That's all ad-free, all part of the Sound Slice stuff. That will accompany this lesson really well. So you can bounce off that, check your notes with what I'm talking about. Hopefully they match up, they oughta. And if you're not a member, don't fear. I'll be walking you through how to play the whole thing, whether you have tabs or not. You should be able to pick it up. So I'm going to bring the camera over and walk you through. But before I do, I just want to thank my latest Patreon members. I wrote it down on here. Thanks to my pal Craig, Feathers, Doug Finch, Neil, Michael, Joyce, Beppo, Tom Pretty, and Chris Cantu. Chris Cantu, welcome back, my friend. Long time member. Okay, let's get to work. A few things I'll just mention really quickly. I'm using a thumb pick. This is actually a Black Mountain pick. If you want to get more versed at that, check out my thumb picking course. But Brian Setzer actually kind of does this hybrid picking thing. In fact, he actually flicks the pick. Let me grab my guitar pick out. He actually uses a flat pick and he curls the pick up just like that, and he uses his thumb and his fingers. You can really do whatever you like. I don't want you to agonize about those details. Look, Brian Setzer didn't copy Scotty Moore. I don't expect you to copy Brian Setzer. So I'm actually going to just be using a thumb pick and my fingers as I normally would, and you can do whatever you're comfortable with, okay? So this is essentially a blues. And the very first thing that I do, and this, look, it's not strictly a Brian Setzer thing. I'm not using every little technique he uses. I'm just using the general idea and getting you in the vicinity, in the ballpark. And because I've written it, I can thoroughly explain what I was thinking, at least to get those sounds. So hopefully that logic makes sense. So the first thing I do is I slide, and I use my thumb. You can use your finger, it really doesn't matter. Slide into the A, okay, which is the root note. And then what I'm doing is I'm barring right across. And I'm actually just playing more or less an A chord, okay? But because I'm not picking every single note in the chord, I'm not strumming, I don't need to hold every note of a regular A major chord. So I'm holding the 5th fret here. Just move back slightly. And I'm skipping the 5th string altogether. My 3rd finger rests on the 4th string, 7th fret. And I'm just playing like that, okay? So 7, 6, 5, 5. But we get those last 5s by barring. So I slide in, pick the 6th string, and then I use my 3rd finger to play the 1st string. I then bring my thumb across to the 4th string, and I play the 4th string. Makes sense. Then my 1st finger plays the 3rd string, which I'm holding the 6th fret, the C sharp, and then I put my pinky down on the 7th fret, pull my 2nd finger, and then play it again after I lift my pinky up. So we get just like that. And then I drop my fingers down and you get that nice little percussive pop. Just like that, okay? So that's the first bit. It's really simple theoretically. I'm just playing an A chord and picking the notes out around that. And then what I do, I keep that bar across here. I put my 2nd finger on the 6th fret there, which in fact it was already there, and I just come back a little, strum down, actually strum up, like that, or you could use your fingers, whatever you prefer. We play at the 4th fret, and then as we swing down, we slide up. So, just like that. You don't even have to really strum down. If you slide, you'll get that nice sound. And then we come up again. We go back, we come back, just like that. So, except hopefully you play it neater than that. So that's the first 2 bars. Practice that really slow, okay? Like I said, if you've got the Sound Slice, you can actually slow it down and play along. It's a really great feature. It's such an awesome, I love that thing. Anyway, moving along. So that was the first 2 bars. The second two bars are almost exactly the same. Except we finish with a slightly different chord. Now what we're actually doing, we're playing a dominant 7 chord here without the A, without the root note. So it doesn't look familiar, or it might not look familiar, and we're actually playing with a G at the bottom, G, C sharp, E, and A, but that's just the 7th degree of the A major scale, sorry, the flat 7th degree of an A scale. That would be the 7. We're using the flat 7, and when we hold that and play a major chord otherwise, we're getting an A dominant 7. So it's nothing too complicated. The next time around though, I've got the flat 7, the major third, which is just a stock note of a major chord. But now it's a bit more interesting because I'm playing the 6th degree of the key of A, of an A major scale, and the 9th degree, okay, on top of the flat 7. Okay, so when we get a dominant 7 chord like what we were doing, and we add these notes, we actually name it after the highest of these notes in the degree. So we would actually call that an A13. Okay, so an A7 is what we're playing. I know we've got the 9 there, but we'll actually call this a 13 because we've got the 9 and the 13. So we go by the highest one and we kind of imply those previous extensions. I know that just got really complicated. Don't stress too much. Guys, that's an A13. Okay, and you can even hit the 5th string. It's still part of the chord. In fact, it's the root note. Or you could bar right across and play the 5th fret there, if you like. But I think Brian Setzer uses those upper 4 chords quite a lot. Oh, I should mention as well, I'm actually using the Nocturne Mystery Brain, and I've got the preamp and the Abbey mode on, and it really does make a difference. It really pops you into that Brian Setzer tone. So if you don't have one of those, you can do things with EQ and work to get that tone. But if you can afford it, it's a really great pedal. Highly recommend it. Check it out. Okay, so that's the first 4 bars. We enter the next 4 bars where we go to the D chord. So this is the 4 of a blues, okay? A, B, C sharp, D. We're now moving to the 4 chord. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually playing just a D. It's a D9. So we've got the D, F sharp, the flat 7 there, and the major third. So that note there is the 9th degree of a D major. And because we're playing a dominant 7 chord, plus the 9th degree, we call it a 9. We always, when we do a dominant 7 or a 7 chord, same thing, we always name it off the highest extension. Okay, in this case, the 9. All right. Now, we don't call that a 2, because you could also say, well, that's the 2, D, E, because we're kind of implying it's on top of the chord. All right, so that's it there. Again, if you don't understand that, don't stress. It's not the end of the world, okay? You can play it now. You know a 9 chord. In fact, we're doing a slightly simpler version because we're not worrying about that root note. And especially if you're playing in a big band or you've got a double bass or a bass to cover it, you don't have to play that note. It sounds quite good. It's got a nice attack. So it's on the offbeat. 1 and 2, 3, 4, just like that. Okay, 4, 5, 5, 5. Just play right across. We're going to play the A on the top as well. And then I do apologize. I keep doing that and then swapping my fingers to do this. You could probably just do one or the other because the next part goes like this. We play the 4th string with the pick, and then I play the 1st string with my 3rd finger, 2nd string with the 2nd finger, just roll backwards, 1st finger on the 3rd fret, and then put your pinky on the 7th fret of the 1st string. Just play it like that. So. And at any point you want to swap and use the pick, that's fine. Actually, that sounds really nice like that. I should have done it that way. Sounds really good. So yeah, again, it's not super strict rules with the finger picking and stuff, okay? The Chet stuff I definitely like to be a bit more down the line. But yeah, with this stuff it's a little looser, okay? You just do what you need to do to get through it. So the next part, we come back to the same thing we played before. Slide in. Again, you use your thumb or your 1st finger barring across. If you are using your thumb, it's going to look slightly different. You're going to look like that, like you're playing an F chord. Okay. Use your pick through all of that if you like. In fact, you could do the whole thing with the pick. Maybe a little bit of finger picking. But that's the Carl Perkins style if you just use the pick, by the way. Which I will be covering some of his stuff on my channel soon. So that's bar 7. Nothing new. alright, after you've come off the D. Same as before. And then this bit, we actually slide in just like before into bar 8. Just like that, but this time we go, and you'll get this little dead strike as you move up, okay? So you just, it's almost to keep time, or you could leave it out. And just go straight up to this next chord. So, or if you want that little bit of extra aggression, I love that sound. It's almost like that really expressive guitar playing. Do it with an up strike and your fingers on their way to the chord, blocking the strings as we land. Okay. And what I'm actually doing here is I'm playing this is like, imagine a G7 chord, okay? But we're doing a 9. But we're going to take the 9 and we're going to sharpen it. And I'm even going to put, there's actually a 5 up here. We can put that in there as well. I don't think I did in the little playthrough, but we can do that. If we want that really tense Setzer-esque sound, we could get both. And we've actually got a sharp 9 and a sharp 5. So this is actually a G7 sharp 9, sharp 5. Okay. You could also call it an augmented sharp 9. So we're just playing that chord 10, 9, 10, 11, 11, and slide it back. And what we're actually doing here is we're just chromatically setting up an F sharp. Okay, so we've come off the A. And you say, Adrian, why would you play an F sharp? Why are you doing that? Well, the reason you're playing an F sharp here is we're setting up the B. Let me show you what to play first, and then we'll talk really quickly about why all that happens and why it works so well, because it sounds great. I'm sure you'll agree. So from the F sharp, the next thing we do is we slide in to the B. Just flatten your finger right across, so you've got 7 here, 7 here. You've got the 8 here, and you've got the 9 here. So you go, and we play that 7. We play the 7 up here using our finger, so we bar right across, play the first string, thumb plays the 4th string, then the 3rd string with the finger, 2nd finger plays the 2nd string, 9th fret. Okay, that's the same rhythm as the intro, as that A, okay? Same thing, except we're doing a 7 chord now. Just like that. And then we do this chord, slide into it. It doesn't have to be from the 9, you're really just sliding in, but just grab the 4th string. And then we slide up and we do this version of an E, which is actually an E. So we've got the flat 7 here, major 3rd, the flat 7 again, so it's really just an E7, but we have this G natural here, which is our sharp 9, okay? So we're playing an E7 sharp 9, which Brian Setzer loves that sound. I like it too, and probably you do as well, if you're here, especially if you're this far. Then from here, the last little section goes up to this A69, which is a beautiful chord. We've got the F sharp, the B, the E, and the A. So just like that, okay? So we go F sharp, B, E, A. That, my friends, is an A69. Learn that chord. Learn how to use that chord. It's a beautiful chord. They're just major notes from the chord, but they're a really great selection. We've got the natural 6, the 9, the 5, and the A there. Root note you could think of being all the way over here, but that's too awkward to get to. So, and then we sort of set up returning back to an A with this. And this is just another E sharp 9 sharp 5. Or E augmented sharp 9. Okay, so 7, 6, 7, 8, 8. Okay, so that's the whole thing. Now, just really, if you've stuck around for this, you just want to understand that theory that little bit more. I'll just talk you really quickly through what happens with those chords and why they work so well. The F sharp is the 5th of a B, and the B is a 5th of E, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B. Okay, so we're going the 5th of the B, and we're just chromatically sliding in. That's something you can always do. A little chromatic tension. 1 fret higher, drop it back. G to F sharp. The F sharp sets up the B. And yes, I know I'm going up here, but this is an E. So the B sets up the E because the B is the 5th of E. E is the 5th of A, folks. So that means when we play the E, it likes to resolve to A. So 5ths like to resolve to 1s. They're relative 1s. So F sharp's the 5th of B, B's the 5th of E, E's the 5th of A. 5s go to their respective 1. Hope that makes sense, guys. I won't go any deeper than that. That's probably enough. And as far as the structure, where that came from, it's just very common jazz structure. Those kind of structures over a blues have been around since the 20s and 30s. So it's really what you do over that I think can separate you as a player, and that's what Brian Setzer has done. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video, and I'll pop down and say goodbye. See you later.